Hello ladies and gentlemen, before I start I would like to thank you for the feedback on the previous video, I appreciate it a lot. June is fast approaching, and with it comes what's touted as the toughest event in Arknights, Contingency Contract. As for the preparations, we have opinions ranging from you gotta get multiple 6 stars to Elite 2 and their skills to Mastery 3 or you're done for, to if all you want is Siege's outfit, just do some basics. Let's find the middle ground. To start off, what is Contingency Contract? Long story short, it's a set of missions in which you choose contracts that add difficulty and increase risk rating. At first we will get one quote-unquote permanent stage, as well as 2 rotating ones. In order to get all rewards, the former requires risk level 18 and the latter to risk level 8. Also worth noting is that on CN, that Contingency Contract event had less contracts on the first week, and more were added later on. We don't know if it will be the same for Global, though we are getting this event about a month or so earlier than CN did when it first released, so we might get more contracts from the get-go. That said, it's better to not assume that it will be the case. With that out of the way, I'll be talking about what you might want to do if you are relatively new to the game, as well as free to play or a light spender, and I'll be focusing on the permanent map. All materials that I used for this video are linked in the description below. So first, there are 2 main types of team compositions, determined by contracts that prohibit usage of either defenders plus guards or casters plus medics. As far as I can tell, the team consisting of defenders and guards is way more forgiving than casters one, so unless you've been working on the latter for months, I would recommend sticking to the former. Now, while having leveled up 6-star operators makes things significantly easier, investing into them might be too taxing. Many guides mention some 4-star operators that are also very useful outside of CC and worth investing into, so let's take a look at those. First we have Kuora, a defender that punches way above her league, being very close to the 6-star Hoshiguma in terms of tankiness, with the main difference being that Hoshi can also deal quite a bit of damage. Her second skill in particular gives her a lot of value with the self-healing, as that's very limited without medics in the team. If you got her from the certificate store, you're sitting pretty. Speaking of lack of medics, the next operator is Gami. She is also a defender but with team healing capabilities. For CC, her first skill comes in handy as it gives lots of burst heals to nearby allies. Having strong defenders is one thing, but we also want to deal some damage. That's where the adorable Moose comes in. She deals arts damage, which is big as the enemies in the mission have high defense and has a chance to attack twice per hit thanks to her talent. Plus, her first skill significantly lowers enemies' attack power. For deployment points generation, if you have Myrtle, what else can I say except DP printer goes brrrr. I mean, yeah, skill 1 is a no-brainer for DP generation, and skill 2 works too if you need that extra bit of healing. However, if you don't have her, Courier should do the job. Now for more specialized characters we have Gravel, which is a low-cost and fast redeployment operator. Her skill 2 gives her a shield which absorbs both physical and arts damage, so you can pop her in for a quick tank where needed. There is also Ethan, who thanks to his talent can make enemies unable to move. His second skill increases the chance of talent activation. He is currently available in the red certificate shop, so depending on your strategy, he might be worth grabbing. Now, while those are all very good operators, they will only get you so far. There are also some 5-star operators that will make things much better if you have any of them. For starters, there is Lapland, with her big attack range and high damage, as well as the skill 2 that changes her damage type to arts. Getting her to Elite 2 and mastering that skill makes life much easier. Next is Texas, with her second skill that generates deployment points and stuns the enemies in a relatively big area, while dealing arts damage to them. She will make the beginning of the mission easier. There is also Nerl, which is pretty much an upgrade to Gami, except her first skill only activates when the HP of the operator is less than half, which is important to keep in mind. It's best to use both of them simultaneously. Similar thing goes for Project Red, who is a low cost and fast redeployment operator like Gravel. You'll want to use her first skill, which boosts her attack while giving her physical and arts dodge. With that said, depending on the strategy, you might want to use both of those operators as well. For more arts damage, Asthesia is arguably the upgrade for Moose, as with her skill 2, she can block 2 enemies and attack them simultaneously, while also being noticeably more durable. We also have F-Eater, that can push enemies away while slowing them down. You would want to use her first skill at Mastery 3. If you didn't get her from the certificate store before she got replaced, you can use Shaw, though she might be a bit tougher to keep alive. And for the last one we have Spectre. She's a guard that attacks number of enemies equal to her block count. You will need to Elite 2 her in order to use her full potential, as her block count changes from 2 to 3 and she gains passive self-heal. Her second skill prevents her from dying within its duration, but stuns her for 10 seconds once it expires, so she is a high risk and high reward operator. You can also borrow operators from your friends. For that, I would recommend either Saria, Silver Ash or Hoshiguma, depending on what your team lacks the most. However, if you have Saria, borrowing Lapland or Chen might be a good idea as well. So that about covers the operators. Now for the more general tips. Make sure to get every operator in your team to 100% trust to unlock their highest stats bonuses. Also, I would recommend getting at least one operator to Elite 2, so that you can use Elite 2 support operators. Myrtle, Lapland and Spectre, as noted before, would be my go-to if you have any of them. If not, any of the 4 stars mentioned except Gravel will be fine, as they are relatively cheap to upgrade. It's also important to note that while all the operators listed are very solid, they might not necessarily work well together, so I would recommend doing more research and choosing a strategy before you commit to investing into any of them. The point was that lower tier operators are very much viable for this event. Finally, keep in mind that it's fine if you can't get to risk 18. Just get as many rewards as you can and enjoy yourself. And with that, thank you everyone for watching. I hope that you found information in this video useful, and if you did, remember to like and subscribe, plus click the bell button to see more content from me. If you didn't like the video, tell me why. Also, follow me on Twitch, where I stream mostly Arknights on Wednesdays, Saturdays and Sundays, and consider joining my Discord server. Links in the description below. Take care and stay safe.